Another crazy day, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea News Blitz. Let's get on with it. All right. Here we go. Back again on the other side of the coin. Welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk a little bit about Champions League and what went on. I just finished the Barcelona versus Eintracht Frankfurt watch along. Really disappointed the way Barcelona crashed out. Really wanted to see Barcelona versus West Ham. West Ham madness as well. What they did, we'll talk about all of that. But first of all, we need to go through some key Chelsea news. More sanctions, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about that and some updates about what's going on with the Chelsea ownership and some talks about transfer market as well. Supposedly, when the new owners come in, they've got certain plans. So we're going to talk about all of this. So it's going to be interesting. Let's get on with it. First of all, Sky Sports News. Sky Sports, this is what they had to say. The bidders are trying to say the right things in public to win over the fans. But I think a lot of Chelsea fans know the bottom line is that these bidders want to make money out of Chelsea rather than put money into Chelsea. Now, look, you can't, as I've always said, ladies and gentlemen, from the get-go, when the new ownership situation, started to be talked about, no new owners are going to come in and not try and make some money out of it. The whole ideology around business is you try to make money. Forget about Roman days, that kind of stuff. And you have to understand, Roman bought Chelsea to not make money from Chelsea, but in order to hide some of his other money. There was a policy behind buying Chelsea. He wanted to make sure that this was some sort of a facade so that he can control other, his assets elsewhere, tax evasion and whatnot. Like, people don't do things. People think, oh, Roman bought and he got a 1.5 billion debt. Yeah, but look at all the money that he was probably able to, in terms of taxation purpose, in terms of making sure securitizing other assets by showing that, Chelsea Football Club, he's got debts over here, he's got losses over here. No one does things just for the sake of losing money. Don't for 1 second think Roman Abramovich took in Chelsea just to lose money. There were other purposes as well. There were other purposes far deeper for us to even contemplate. So, but that aside, no new owners are going to come in and have the same level of debt that Roman did. They're going to come in because when you run a business, the whole ideology is to make money. So this information here, yeah, obviously new owners will come in and they think about making money. But what they're saying is they would rather take money out and not put any money into Chelsea. Well, you can't make money if you don't invest. You have to invest. You cannot just simply come into Chelsea, strip all the assets off, sell it off, make the money, and then expect Chelsea to make money for you, because Chelsea won't. Chelsea will slide down the table. They will not be competitive and will not be making enough money anymore, because once you're not competitive, you're not going to be getting those prize monies and whatnot, which is very important. The sponsorships as well, very important. Sponsorships come in when you do well. So I don't believe this talk that Sky Sports have done here. I agree with them that when a certain investor comes in, the ideology is to make money, but they will have to invest as well. And I've got no doubt the new owners will invest. They will invest. That's why they're coming in as a consortium. There's many investors and there's a lot of money that some of these big backings have. Like, for example, Todd Bowley with Clear Capital, Clear Lake Capital. They've got about 60 billion in managed assets. You've got the Ricketts family with Ken Griffin with a lot of money, and they've got the Rock Entertainment Group with a lot of money. So look, even with Stephen Paluca, he's got a partner. I can't remember who his name is, but they've got a lot of money as well. Representative of Todd Bowley-led group have confirmed that their bid is all cash and no debt. And so is the Ricketts family's bid, led by Tom and Laura Ricketts. So this is, I suppose, a positive thing, the fact that none of the owners that are coming in, and this is why I guess they're bringing in other partners, so that there is no debt, that it is completely cash funded. They just don't want, I guess, the Rain Group, and this is a positive thing, they don't want a particular owner coming in debt financing. And I think this was probably one of the reasons why the Saudis didn't make it, apparently, that there were debt financing. And ultimately that debt will be Chelsea's debt. So they don't want to do that. They want to make sure that these people come in with cash, pay the cash to Chelsea, and whoever else the money is going to get distributed to. And then also have enough funds available to make investments to the stadium, to the transfer budget, so on and so forth, the running costs of Chelsea Football Club. And this is what Rain Group's trying to make sure, that you're not borrowing money to do this, that you've got cash. As of Tuesday, the Ricketts family, with backing from Dan Gilbert and Ken Griffin, had a collective fortune of nearly 52 billion. 52 billion. And Chelsea's going to probably go for somewhere around 3.3 billion to 3.5 billion. An all-equity deal means Chelsea wouldn't be constructed to debt services payments to worry about finding funds to invest in the squad. There you go. That's a lot of money, man. 52 billion. Dan Gilbert and Ken Griffin from the Ricketts. So money shouldn't be a matter. Chelsea's win-win is that out of nowhere, there's 4 strong bids. I believe the future under a new owner, whoever it is, will be more sustainable than it has been. Ben Jacobs, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. Article from Simon Dan Phillips. Simon Phillips and Dan McCarthy. What am I talking about? They've obviously got a podcast together. Check that out. They brought in Ben Jacobs recently, and this is where Ben said that it's a win-win for Chelsea. It's a win-win for Chelsea that we've got 4 bidders that are heavy hitters, and we're probably going to be far more sustainable than we ever have been. So let's see. And I want Chelsea to be sustainable. I don't want Chelsea to go out there and just rack up debt after debt the way we have been under Roman. And, I'm not taking anything away. I love the way we won so many trophies. But at the same time, I want Chelsea Football Club to be sustainable. Make money and use that money for your transfers, your day-to-day operations, and be self-sustainable, so that down the track, if we're ever in this situation where we lose another owner, Chelsea Football Club can run itself. Right now, Chelsea Football Club do not make enough money to pay off operational expenses. Bowley is all about value, and because he didn't want to be majority shareholder. He wanted to find partners. Clearlake have capital to finance a deal. There will be no debt involved. Bowley is all about value, and because he didn't want to be a majority shareholder. So a few people have been a bit upset about this situation where Clearlake apparently, and we'll touch on this very soon. I just want to quickly talk about this now. Clearlake, apparently, ladies and gentlemen, there will be 50% owners if they end up winning it. Todd Bowley ends up winning it. And few parts of the fan base are a bit mad about this situation. Oh my God, Clearlake Capital are going to own 50% of Chelsea. What's going to happen? They're an investment group. They're just going to look to make money out of Chelsea. Relax. The word is Todd Bowley are still going to be, he's the one who's going to be running the day-to-day business. He's still going to have a minority shareholdership. Clearlake, obviously, with all the money, they're the ones who are going to be backing it. And of course, they're going to want some return. But at the end of the day, Todd Bowley is the one who's going to be running the day-to-day business. And he is a proper, man in terms of experience in sports. LA Dodgers, so on and so forth. And I'm not worried about this. As long as Clearlake, they give the funds to invest, to buy players, to run the day-to-day operations. And as long as Todd Bowley runs the club in a sustainable manner, Clearlake will get that investment return. They will get that return. Clearlake having 50%, whilst the Athletic was saying the other week, despite his staggering wealth, everything in his professional history indicates Griffin will only spend on Chelsea what he believes he will get back in the long run. Probably the same. So look, this is not just for Clearlake. It is the same for Ken Griffin as well and the Ricketts. So Todd Bowley I'm not worried the fact that these guys, they want a return. Obviously, you would want a return from a business. Guys, more sanctions on Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea director Eugene Tenenbaum and Davidovich have been sanctioned by the British government. Apparently, these guys have been linked with Roman and some of his assets. So more sanctions. And this is a big one because Eugene is one of the directors involved in the sale of Chelsea Football Club, along with Bruce Buck and Marina. So a lot of people are saying, why hasn't Bruce Buck and Marina been sanctioned? I think it's the fact that those two are clear employees, whereas Eugene, I think, is an associate of Roman, has dealings in terms of the assets that Roman has and whatnot. And further sanctions. Saudi Media Group didn't make the final four because Rain wanted a speedy sell. They tabled a 3.5 billion bid, but were ruled out because there were no clear sense of where their funding came from. Jacobs Ben on our pod tonight, just as today's deadline closes. Apparently, the deadline closes tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for all the bids. And after hopefully we get a winner. So that's a good news. But this is the reason why the Saudi Media Group didn't make it, because the Rain Group apparently couldn't tell where they're financing the $3.5 billion to buy Chelsea. I just find it very strange that Saudis were looking to debt finance. You'd think that they would have the money, but I don't know. I mean, look, at the end of the day, there were 4 Americans that ended up, along with obviously Sir Martin Bertrand, who also has an American partner. So Americans and UK-based people, basically. LA Dodgers has multiple part owners. Bowley has a minority 20% share there as well. But him, Magic Johnson, Walter and co. have operational control. The same thing will happen with Chelsea. Bowley, Walter, Goldstein, West, Clearlake will all have stakes, basically Guggenheim. So, yeah, look, this doesn't bother me. You let me know, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't bother you that there are so many people involved. It's a lot of money. I'm not surprised that one person is not going to just outlay 3.5 billion. It's a lot of money we are talking about. So I'm not surprised it's a group. At the end of the day, you still need to have one person. When it's a group, it's essential that not everyone is talking to make decisions, that they do select one person to basically run the day-to-day business. And in this case, for Todd Bowley's group, their consortium, it'll be Todd Bowley. And I think for the Ricketts, it'll be the Ricketts who are going to be doing the day-to-day business. PSA, whoever takes over at Chelsea is not going to own 100% of us. That's the situation post Abramovich. Every consortium has minor and major financial backers. This is the reality of the change of ownership. I'm sure there'll be more stories throughout the day like this. As I said, this absolutely doesn't bother me. This is exactly what I said yesterday. They are investing in the club and will be part owners. FSG sold 10% of the club to investors recently. So no loans, no leverage debt, pure investment. This is off the back of that news of Clearlake. Clearlake Capital would own at least 50%. And off the back of that, this is exactly what I said yesterday. And this is what FSG has done too. 10% sold to the club investors. So yeah, this is how things are done now, ladies and gentlemen. No one wants to have debt financing on a particular club. They want to make sure that it's all clear cash. That's why there's several investors. Let's have a quick look at this particular tweet here. I'm unsure what people thought Clearlake were doing in the bid before this news. It's 3.75 billion of investment. Nobody is doing that on their own. The important part is who controls operations for Clearlake with just a relatively small asset. They have a background stake in. I'd be concerned if Clearlake managed assets of 10 to 15 billion and we were their largest asset. But from their perspective, they invest a minor 1.8 billion now, and when the club is sold, they get 3 billion back. They have a long relationship with Bowley. It is not some wicked asset stripping scheme. 100% agreed. This is how things are run. All 4 groups have investors. My trust is with Roman. Investors are always going to look for returns. 100%. This is how the real life works. Investors look for returns. Okay, let's look at some transfer news, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea are continuing to scout for players that they could try to sign this summer. New owners are likely to back at least one marquee signing this summer, with Jules, Kounde, Declan Rice and Aurelien Tchouameni remains on Chelsea's agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, kudos to Declan Rice and West Ham. They've gone into the semi-finals of the Champions League and now a big favorite, I have to say, a big favorite of winning the Europa League and making it into Champions League through that particular gate. I mean, this is mad. Now that Barcelona's out as well, West Ham are going to play Eintracht Frankfurt. Eintracht Frankfurt ain't going to be easy. Some good players there, especially Kostic. They absolutely demolished Barcelona over the 2 legs, Eintracht Frankfurt. But West Ham as well demolished, Lyon. 3-0 away from home. Big result. So it'll be a good match. West Ham won, a couple of matches away now from getting into the final of Europa League. And if Declan Rice makes it to the Champions League, I don't see how he leaves West Ham. So as much as the new owners potentially looking at a marquee signing, if Declan Rice and West Ham make it into Champions League, I don't think he leaves, and the price is going to be astronomical. We're better off looking at someone like Aurelien Tchouameni, but apparently the word is that he's going to Real Madrid. So we'll see what happens. Do we break the bank for Declan Rice? I personally wouldn't. I feel like we should look at other cheaper options, and I think the new owners will do that. I don't think the new owners are going to go out there and just absolutely throw money after throwing a lot of money for buying Chelsea Football Club. I think it'll be a new model. I think we will go into a situation where we will scout up and coming superstars or players that are doing well now, but just under the radar, just good business, like your Luis Diaz, for example, for Liverpool. We need to do good business, not necessarily huge business. Chelsea's new owners are likely to back one marquee signing with Aurelien Tchouameni. Same news in terms of Nizar Kinsella. Hopefully we get Tchouameni. I think that'd be great. I think Tchouameni will be around the 60, 70 million mark. We should probably get that as opposed to someone like Declan Rice, who could be somewhere around close to 100 million if they make it to the Champions League. If they don't make it to the Champions League, then perhaps there could be an opportunity. But yeah, I mean, I want our scouts to do the job. I want them to go out there and scout under the radar players that are just as good. Do you know what I mean? And just not being talked about, I suppose. There are good players out there. We just don't know. We're not scouts. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what your thoughts are with all the news that's going around. Are you a bit concerned the fact that there is so many investors in a consortium? But do you understand why the situation is? I can't wait till the whole ownership drama finishes. Apparently tonight's the last deadline night for all the bids to be finalized and closed, and the winner hopefully will be announced soon. Potentially could still take not just this month, but end of next month for the Premier League to accept who the owner is. They'll do the check on the potential winning bid. And let me know. Let me know your thoughts about Declan Rice. Let me know your thoughts about West Ham in the Europa League. Who do you go for, Tchouameni or Declan Rice? Do you have other players in your mind? Some people were saying on free Boubacar Kamara from Marseille. That's just one of the names out there, but there are plenty more going around. So let me know your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you guys have enjoyed this Chelsea News Blitz. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Until next time, see ya.